For over a year, I worked at a children's shelter. Now, this shelter offered services to children seeking asylum here in the US. The goal of the program was reunification. The goal was to reunite them with their families. Most of these kids had some relatives here in the United States of America, and so when they joined the program, they were assigned a case manager to help them, legal aid as well to help them navigate the whole legal process. And in addition, there were other services like medical services. Some of these kids had never been to a dentist or an optometrist, and so the program helped with that as well. In addition, the kids got to go to school in the program, so they learned English and a lot of other things. And there's a whole list of services that the program offered. On top of all of that, they are still kids at the end of the day, so the program offered cool field trips to different things that most kids would like. Trips to the zoo, to go bowling, to the movie theater, to get ice cream, to go to the park, the museum, etc. My job entailed helping them with their day-to-day activities, which could include taking them to their doctor's appointments, or taking them on these field trips, or just helping them eat and go to class and learn, and there's a whole list of other things. One of the main reasons I got this job was to try to make this world a better place in whatever small way I could. So my intention was that I don't know what many of these kids' lives were like before they got to the program, they came to this country, and I don't know what their life is gonna be like once they leave the program. But while they're with me, while they are in my care, I will do my best to create a safe, positive environment where they can learn and grow and be themselves. It was not an easy job by any means, but I am grateful for that opportunity. I learned a lot about myself, a lot about humanity, and a lot about life. Now, why am I saying this? I was born in Los Angeles, California. All right, I'm an American citizen. My mom's a citizen. My grandma's a citizen. And that's not lost on me. I am grateful to have been born in this country. I am also aware of what's going on around me, what's going on in this country politically, ICE, the protests in Los Angeles, where I grew up as a kid, and the protests all over America, and just in general, what's happening. I do my best to remain positive, work hard on my goals, and keep to that, but it's inevitable that you're gonna hear and learn about what's going on. So I've done my best to read and stay well informed. I've worked with, cared for, and gotten to know many of the kids that most people read about. I've spent 40 hours a week plus, more than that sometimes even, caring for these kids. I've carried and consoled a crying 2-year-old little girl from Venezuela who's terrified. She's in a new country. She doesn't speak the language. She's far away from home. She misses her parents. She doesn't know what's going on. I've prepared bottles to feed a 4-month-old little baby boy from Haiti. I taught guitar classes and dance classes to these kids to give them some sense of normalcy. I've cracked jokes with them, played with them, sang with them, all with the intention of giving them some sense of positivity, something that's going right in their lives, something that'll make them smile and feel good even for just a moment. I have heard some horrific stories, and many of these kids have been through things most people can't even imagine. These kids aren't just a number. I have a feeling that if the people on top making these decisions, if these people came down to the ground level and spent some time with these children, I think they might act differently, or they might approach this entire situation differently. I think that given the right tools and the right resources and the right opportunities, these kids could change the world. And I see myself in them. I see myself in these families, because that could be me. In another lifetime, that could have been me. But by the grace of God, I was born here. In some ways, I feel powerless to help the situation. And the best thing I could think to do right now was make this video and perhaps shed light and, I don't know, maybe just in my own way let people know that these families, these kids, they're humans too. Inevitably, there's gonna be somebody or a group of people that don't like this video. It is what it is. I would do my best to tell these kids that with a positive attitude and some hard work, magic can happen, right? Great things can happen. And oftentimes, that's the only thing that keeps me going throughout the day. And I'm gonna keep that faith.